What's up YouTube, Teddy Westside here for another video, and today we're going to give a review on the Cobb Intake that we installed in the last video. Sorry that it's been taking me so long to do this video. I've been meaning to do this for at least a week, but I got a little secret for you guys. If you saw Russ's video a couple weeks ago, you know that he built a race simulator, and well, I went and played it, I got addicted, I built one myself. It's a lot of fun, I love it, but it has distracted me from doing anything at all. I've hardly driven the car since I built the simulator. The weather hasn't been very good anyways, so that kind of made building the simulator even better, but I've logged at least 20 hours on it and it hasn't even been built for a week. And I work a full-time job, so there you go. So I've been meaning to make this video, so here I am. I'm filming now. I'm gonna try to give you guys my review on the Cobb Intake and kind of what my thoughts are. So in complete honesty with you guys, some people may have figured this out from Instagram or anything like that. I wasn't the biggest fan of the intake when I first did it. And a lot of that was because I was salty with the install. I'm not gonna lie to you, the install was very, very challenging. I've done a couple different parts now in my car. I feel like I have a decent amount of experience when it comes to doing things like that. And for an intake, honestly, I thought it was a lot more complicated than it needed to be. The construction, the way that the intake is built, kind of makes it very challenging, and I really do not understand why Cobb makes you kind of follow the process that they do. One thing that I want to show you guys right now, if you buy the Cobb Intake, one step that will save you a ton of frustration is this right here. Let me show you. Okay. So there is a step where they want you to put the whole bin into this and then connect it to the snorkel. And before you do that, I think it makes a lot of sense to put this black piece in here. What you're gonna need to do is there's a stand under here and then the black piece. They want you to do it when this is already in the car, which makes it very hard. I mean, I know I don't have the best garage, lighting is very challenging, but it's very hard. Like, look how small, and you don't want to do this in your engine bay. I mean, come on. There's really, in my eyes, no need for you to wait and do that when it's in the car. So I really think if you do these two steps outside of the car, it will make the install a little bit easier for you. Like I said, I really do think that'll help you, and besides the install, I really have no complaints with the Cobb Intake. I still really do love that the way this looks. I do think it's really nice that they include the snorkel part. I think the finish on the material, it really looks nice in the engine bay. I did say before, like, I think carbon fiber would look a little bit cooler because, you know, everyone likes carbon fiber, but to me it's really not the end of the world. It still looks phenomenal. Other things that I like is the sound that it makes. Now, I'm not going to say that this is probably only because it's the Cobb and why, you know, I can hear obviously more turbo sounds, more air is coming in, so it makes the blow-off valve sound a little bit different, and increased throttle response. I think those are kind of all things with any aftermarket intake, not necessarily just the Cobb, but yes, you do get those with the Cobb Intake as well. But by far, my favorite part about the Cobb Intake is probably the way that it's all set up. I really enjoy that you get the snorkel, the closed air box, obviously an air filter, and they have a way to conceal the coolant line. You don't need to buy a secondary air filter or anything like that. And the pipe from the filter to the actual turbo inlet pipe all comes in the kit for one price. It's $495, I believe, to get all of that, which you can't get with especially APRs. I know Unitronic's more expensive, Forge has one that's more expensive, Integrated Engineering's closed one is more expensive. I mean, you really cannot beat this deal as far as a closed system and everything all the way to the turbo inlet pipe. Because yes, APR's is like $490 or $449 or something like that, but you have to use the stock pipe all the way from the air filter, or from the intake to the inlet pipe, which, I mean, it's really ugly, B, it does rob you a little bit of performance. And again, with the APR one, you still have to buy that secondary filter. I really do love how the filter plugs into the hose, like you don't need anything else. I haven't seen anybody else that has that feature, so I really do love that. So with the likes, there's always things that I don't like about the intake, and a couple things that I don't really like about the intake. Obviously, one was the install. The install was way too complicated. It was very, very frustrating. It took a lot more time than I thought an intake would take me to do, but it wasn't really the end of the world. I did get it in. It's not going to be the end of the world when it does come time to remove it. I have been trying to think of ways to maybe make the removal a little bit easier, because yes, a little spoiler alert, I guess you could say, we will have to remove that because there's parts that I want to change out of the stock car that are underneath it. I've mentioned it before, it will be coming soon. Probably for my birthday at least, so like in 2 months. The rubber trim that you have to cut for the coolant line hose, and then you do it again for the actual hose out to the turbo inlet pipe. The trim of that fell off twice already for me, so that's been a little bit of an annoyance. I actually, just before this video, put some more back on. The good news is they do give you extra, so when that does happen, it works. And it's really only been this one side, so I don't know if I just can't get it on right, so that's user error or what, but that trim's annoying for me. I got big hands, people. It's hard to do stuff with big ass hands. Another thing that I kind of wish that the Cobb Intake had, which I don't think really does anything, it was kind of would have been nicer for the install part, is the holes where it plugs into, where on the stock intakes there's like rubber grommets and stuff where it sits per se. There's nothing, no rubber grommets. I'll try to show you right now. So right there where the light is, you can see that's where you plug it in. And there's another one which you can kind of see right back in there. But like I said, the stock intake kind of has rubber grommets. This one just has these big holes. And I mean, it does not move. This is real solid, especially once you bolt it to the snorkel. But when you're putting it in there, it's not very solid, and it does move a lot. And it's kind of difficult, especially when it comes to this step. So I would have liked to see if maybe they could have had rubber grommets in there, just to give it a little bit more security. But I'm guessing they don't, because I mean, look at the positioning. That's all the way in the front. It's definitely not in the middle. They might kind of have to, just so that it fits for everyone. So other than those couple little things, I really don't have any complaints with the intake so far. Like I said, I really do love the sounds that it's making. I love the way that it looks. And those two things alone outweigh the tough install and what I know is going to be a tough uninstall and reinstall. But like I said, I really have been enjoying. I'm very, very happy that I finally have an intake. It definitely does make a difference. I don't care what anybody out there says. This intake, at least, is way better and does make a difference from the stock one. I cannot speak for anybody else, but it does on this car and that intake. Anyways, guys, I just want to thank you guys for watching. I do have some more things planned up. Hopefully going to dig into it this weekend. I do have a friend coming to visit though, and we're going to be on the simulator. So I'll be honest with you, that might not happen till next week. Please go follow my Instagram. It'll be right here. I do let everybody know kind of a little bit more what's going on in my life. If you have any questions or anything, please let me know. DM me on there too. I definitely get back to everyone on that. But I do highly suggest the Cobb Intake if you're still looking for an intake. Again, I think it is a banging deal compared to especially the APR kit. I'm not bashing on APR at all. As you guys may or may not know, I'm APR Stage 2, but I just thought this was a better deal. And again, nobody on YouTube had that video. I wanted to make it. I did make it. Some people don't really like it. I do understand why, you know, there's not a ton of Cobb stuff on there, especially for the GTI platform, but it's because it's new. Why not try it? But again, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all the support, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.